University town and tourist attraction, world-renowned Cambridge. It's already big on bicycle use. Chinese bike-sharing giant Ofo saw the potential and has made a beeline for the city with its dockless model.
Oh yeah, I definitely use them.
I mean, I've got my own bike, so I probably wouldn't use it.
I think anything that would encourage people to cycle more, maybe reduce the number of buses on the road, reduce the amount of pollution, could possibly be a good thing.
We found the bright yellow bike certainly attracts attention as you cycle around the city, and people are already curious about the company's presence.
I have no idea how they would make sure that they didn't all end up in one place, but I guess maybe they shift them around, I don't know.
There are only 20 of these bikes on the streets of Cambridge so far, but the plan is for 500. But because they can just be left everywhere, there are concerns if not managed properly, they could become a little bit of an eyesore in this historic tourist city, which as you can see is already a little bit tight on bike parking.
I do hope that the ground teams for these organisations make sure that the bikes are kept tidy, but I know it's also a concern of the council, and we're all working together to see how can this be managed, because we don't know. Everyone's curious about how this will work, but we are concerned about making sure that our city remains accessible.
It's something Ofo and its numerous competitors have come under fire for in China, cluttering the streets with bikes.
Actually, it's one of the first problems we need to solve on the list when we start the business in China. So right now we have this grid management system. Basically, we divide the city into different squares, like very small squares, and each square we have a maintenance staff, to a certain number of maintenance staff to manage.
This is a bold move for Ofo. Cambridge is the cycling capital of the UK, so most residents already own their own bikes. But Roxanne from the Cambridge Cycling Campaign says there's still room for a bike share if introduced properly, and they don't cut out the traditional bike hire businesses that already exist.
I think there's also a lot of opportunity for bike sharing schemes and pool bikes with the various campuses and large employers around Cambridge. A lot of people might drive or catch the train to work, but then when it comes to trying to get into the centre of town for lunch or a meeting, bike's the only way to go in Cambridge.
According to Ofo's COO and co-founder, its partnerships with local governments are vital to the company's continuing success.
So definitely we need being like a partner with the local government. We have signed, I think, multiple strategic partnerships in China with the different governments in Guangzhou, in Beijing, in Shanghai, and different cities. And yeah, so we're actively seeking the opportunities and the same partnership with the government in overseas markets.
Ofo is competing on home soil with the likes of Mobike and Blue Go-Go. So for these companies, it is a race to the bottom on prices. The business model, why own when you can share, has been hugely successful for the likes of Uber and Airbnb. But where so many others have failed, what does it take to be a standout in this sharing economy world?
Solve a really clear and big problem. And then the second thing is to solve a problem that has attractive economics, where there's enough money to be made, where the business can kind of raise finance and then spend that money and grow and become large.
Alex Stephanie is the author of The Business of Sharing and an expert on the sharing economy. He recognises that fending off the often many competitors is key.
All of these spaces are hot and people are pouring money into these companies and also their competitors. And it's also cheaper in many ways to start a business as well than it's ever been. So ultimately this comes down to execution. These businesses need to perform better, they need to execute better, they need to release better digital products, they need to have a stronger culture and attract the best talent.
And for Ofo, it seems staying ahead of the game means branching out overseas.
All in all, I think the business model is profitable. The gross margin is around like 50%. And right now, basically, we just using operation income even if we just look at the operation income, it's still like profitable. Right? The next step, maybe we look at advertisement, look at different kind of partnerships. There's more way of generating cash.
The company has 20 international cities in their sights this year. The European market, they say, is one of the largest cycling markets and top of their list. And while there's no direct competition in Cambridge for now, they may find they won't be given an easy ride in other cities. Katie Gregory for CCTV.